Um, Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Lunchbox Live. Today, our virtual UK tour has rocked up in Barnsley.
Barnsley, that I don't actually pronounce it like that, but
I know, but you know.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, in Barnsley.
Barnsley. Anyway, yes. So we're in Barnsley today. Dom and I virtually. We're with our special guest is Pete Shredded Wheat Shaw. But firstly, Dom, how are you today?
I'm good. And
Pete, how are you?
I'm phenomenal. Especially now seeing you two beautiful gentlemen.
Well, I just realised I should have done my hair for today because obviously I'm too ginger. So I've got a bit of ginger in there, honest, in the beard.
You should have. Have you seen this? Have you seen this mop that we've got going on?
Mine's a mess.
So look, Pete, thank you so much for joining us today. Both Dom and I are really interested. Now we're giving you the moniker Shredded Wheat. We are really excited to hear about your transformation, what you went through last year, all of that, because this is amazing. Thank you, Mrs. Tibbets.
You're welcome.
There you go. See, my wife brings a coffee as well. So, really excited to hear about that because that's going to be fascinating. And when I share the pictures, everyone's going to be blown away. But what I'm more intrigued to is you did that transformation, but you also increased your fitness, your strength, your speed, which I'm amazed about. But I don't want to spoil too much. So, Pete, tell us a bit about yourself. And who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do?
All right. The classic three. All right. Well, before I get into that, I'm Pete Shaw. I'm a co-owner of Barnsley Barbell, so we're a small private fitness and training facility in Barnsley, South Yorkshire. The lovely sunny Barnsley. And before I get into that, I just want to say a big thank you for having me on. It's an absolute privilege to be here with you two gents, and also just a big thank you to everyone watching as well. I appreciate we've all got busy lives, so it's massively appreciated that you're here with us today on this lovely Tuesday.
Are you sharing it, Pete? Are you sharing it? That's what we want. Are we currently shared in Barnsley Barbell world?
Yeah, it's shared with the whole of Barnsley.
Yeah. Come on.
Like this, yeah, with the maracas out. So Barnsley Barbell, we started in 2016, so we opened the doors in February. We've just hit 5 years old, which is amazing. And over the past 5 years, we've basically helped hundreds of men and women get in shape, build confidence, and lose the weight that they want. But not only that, showing them step by step, once they've made the progress, like how to keep it afterwards. And we built Barnsley Barbell basically on a passion of helping other people. So seeing what was wrong in the fitness industry, taking mine and Ash's struggles in the gym, and then basically saying like, okay, this is how we've made changes. Now let's go out and help the world to do the same. And that's pretty much, that's where we are now. We run in-person boot camps, but over the past 12 months we've moved online. We currently run over 80 boot camp sessions online at this current moment in time. There's myself, there's Abby, there's Ash, there's Lee, and there's now Tom. So there's 5 of us. So it's just gone from me and Ash that met at college, got this started sort of early 2016. 5 years on, there's 5 of us on the team now. But we've also developed an online program as well, where we've had over 100 people graduate in the last year alone, and the transformations have been phenomenal. So it's all physical, mental, and emotional transformation, which is the exciting part.
So you talked about there, born out of your struggles, if you will, out of struggles. And what were the struggles that you were trying to address when you kicked it off?
So the thing for me, Dom, is like me and Ash had always helped family and friends with like a little nutrition plan or a training plan based on experience. Very informal before we started Barnsley Barbell, but we'd helped a lot of people. But one of the things for me is back when I was at college, I had no idea how to eat for the goals that I wanted. Yeah. I wanted, I was going on a holiday with the lads, and basically I was in the gym just training, but had no real clue on like what to eat. And I went to see a personal trainer, and the chap sold me on some sessions. All I wanted to find out was a little bit of info on like, how to eat better. What kind of food should I be eating? And I got sold into these sessions. And to cut a long story short, I was basically told to go like 0 carb, high fat. I didn't eat any veggies. I turned around and I said, oh, do you want all these fats in healthy food sources, like, your nuts and your avocados? He said, no. He said, you have your bird's eye burgers, your Richmond sausages, and a few eggs. And I said, seriously? He said, yeah. He said, watch, it'll work, because it worked for him.
Yeah, okay.
And he sold me on this idea that that's how I needed to get in shape. And I weren't in bad shape. I didn't really need to do all of that. And to cut a long story short, I've realized that a lot of people out there don't know what to eat, don't know how to train, and get missold by the industry as a whole on like what they should be doing to lose weight. And I just wanted to cut out the BS and give people, the real ways and methods of getting sustainable results that I'd eventually found out through my own training as a personal trainer, coach, and working with so many people. And now it's about sharing that I'm passionate about. Does that make sense, Dom?
Yeah. So Barnsley Barbells, out of your struggle that finding quality information.
100%.
And now that's, the aim. Yeah, the aim sounds like it's to provide people with quality information to get them results and keep them confident afterwards.
Yeah, because the fitness industry is just filled with so many different opinions and views, and it's very hard with the noise to know what works. Yeah. And the problem that we have is marketing is so strong from big companies that want to sell shakes and coffees and everything else. I won't name names today, but like that's quite
Weight Watchers.
It's quite powerful. That when that's thrown in your face, as someone that's either a novice or someone that is genuinely struggling and really wants to get weight off or really wants to get in shape or take control, like, of course, you're going to easily be sold into that. And I want to step in and be like, no, don't want to waste your money. It's not sustainable. It won't work. Here's how I would recommend it based on a sustainable approach.
So here it is then. Let's get straight to the shit. It's not sustainable and it won't work, is what you've just said.
In what respect? As in, like the clubs or like the shakes or?
Yeah. Well, you've alluded there that the shakes and the other shite that they sell basically won't work, and it's not sustainable.
Yeah, 100%.
Why not?
So the reason for me is that when you start cutting out, so basically when you go to slimming clubs and the sin foods, that for me personally builds a very demonic relationship with food. Like to say a chocolate bar is a sin builds a very negative correlation between you as a human being and that item of calorie. That's all it is. It's just a calorie amount. And the problem that I have personally with that is the idea that I feel like I'm doing something wrong by eating an item of food. So I'm big on basically saying, like, don't cut out the foods that you love because you'll feel miserable. It'll impact the rest of your life. And what I found from personal experience of working with hundreds of different men and women over the last 5 years is that when you cut out all your favorite foods, it leads to a massive binge at some point down the line because you feel like you've had to basically strip all the enjoyment out of your life. Like we all love a burger, chocolate, and a slice of cake. Like the sooner we find a way to fit that within our training program, within the results that we want, the quicker we'll get results now and the longer we'll keep them.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Nice plant in the back. I like the plant there on the windowsill.
All for that oxygen. That's fresh oxygen.
Well, I love it. No, you bang on. We promote, in Transform 365 and Transform XR program. We're all about the education on the relationship with food, and we totally are in line with each other on that. It's just nice to get it from a different perspective, especially for any of our clients watching this. We're not just harping on here that it's our opinion. We're now saying this is your opinion as well, and it is opinion. We're not saying it's necessarily everybody else's view, but ours. But it is that it's building a negative relationship that people all of a sudden are saying, "Well, I can't eat that." If I eat that, if I eat that, then I'll gain weight. And all of a sudden now I eat a chocolate bar, and then there's shame and there's guilt. And then that brings a whole then we're starting to exercise because we've got shame and guilt. So we're not now exercising through choice. We're exercising because we've got guilt on the food we eat.
Yes.
You've really got to strip it right back. Yes, listen to anybody who's watching this who thinks we're saying that you can eat chocolate bars and burgers for fun. We're not. Especially if you're on a, well, certainly I'm not. If you're on a weight loss journey, then guess what? At the beginning, you're probably going to have to strip it right back because you haven't put the foundations in place. And that's what I'm hearing here is Barnsley Barbell is all about the right information, quality information to give you to build foundations. And that's certainly what we project. Talking about struggles, moving on and moving to Pete Shredded Wheat Shaw. Tell us about that transformation you went on. Let's just put some context that you've built this out of your struggles and providing quality information. You've done 5 years building the business, and then last year we was it last year? Yeah, back end of last year, was it?
Yeah, about end of August time.
And you've took yourself on a journey. How was that? Tell us about that and the struggles that you faced in that journey.
Yeah, so initially the guy that you see on the left was a guy that just thought that he had decent shape when he got his tents on. There was in the right lighting, the might and the guy on the left knows all the knowledge to get the result that the guy on the right has.
Yeah,
that's the point that I've got to make there. Like, we all often know the things that we've got to do. It's the doing them that we often struggle with. Now, the guy on the left, I was in a position where I was helping everyone. We just had the busiest, I would say, 6 months of the last 5 years. We'd moved online. We were not only running boot camps in person and moving them online with COVID, but we also, like I mentioned, had over 100 people through his program. I was busy and put everyone else first. Yeah. So I suffered as a result of that. Yeah. And what I required was some more discipline, and I required the accountability, and I required leverage to make a change. Yeah. So my struggle was that I was trying to help everyone else, and as a result, not helping me.
Yeah.
That was what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
So at that point, I said, enough's enough, because my energy wasn't right. My confidence wasn't right. And how can the guy on the left talk to people about transformations and getting in the best shape of their life if he isn't living and breathing that?
Yeah.
So I thought it's time to make a change. And that's where I decided. I said, enough's enough. We've got to get fitter. We've got to get in a shape that I'm confident with. And I know I've got much more in the tank, and that when I look after me first, I can serve everyone else a lot better.
100%. Now, we all know that the missing piece, you've got the knowledge, and you can give people the knowledge and give people the value, but they ain't going to get the results unless you take action. You took the action.
Yes.
What was it? What was the action that you took?
So the initial thing for me was seeing someone else's result and being inspired. And I'm a huge fan of being inspired, or if you're going to set a goal, make sure it's exciting and it's something that you can get a buzz about. So many people. Thank you, Holly. Thank you very much. Hope you're well, Holly, as well. The thing for me personally is that if it doesn't scare you a little bit, and if it doesn't excite you, you're not going to go very far with it. So many people come to me and they're like, Pete, I want to lose weight. And I'm like, oh, all right. But why? Why do you want to lose the weight? Turns out they want to build good habits to impact the kids. Now we're talking a little bit. All right, now we're talking. And then we look at it a little bit more. Well, I want to look good when the lights are on, when I'm naked in the bedroom. All of a sudden, oh, this has got exciting. I've now got a bit more reason. I want to set a good example for those around me. I want to have the energy to impact people around me. So the first thing for me, I just required some more leverage and reason. And the fastest way to get there was looking at what someone else had achieved. And I was like, you know what? I want a piece of that.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was like, right, let's have a little look. Okay, who exactly can help me achieve that? So I took the guy, so Ali Crooks. I don't mind giving him out. I've told him, he inspired me. And then I was like, well, who's his coach? I want whatever result he's getting, I want to know how I can get it. Alex Myers. So I had a chat with Alex. And yeah, we got together and we set out for this 90 days. That's all it was initially. Let's just get 90 days in the bag, and we went from there. And the biggest thing off the back of that was like having a coach. So I basically outsourced all my nutrition and programs. Like when I was helping everyone else, I didn't have to at the end of the day write my own program. That was huge.
Yeah.
I was like, right, you do it.
Yeah.
Alex got more experience than me. I'm the first to admit that I'm not as experienced as a lot of other coaches. I've got 5 years under my belt. Alex has got triple that. So it makes sense for me to cut the corner there and go straight to the man that can get me the result I want, right?
What was the biggest struggle for you? Was there many moments of struggle, or was there,
in terms of the 90 days?
Yeah, over that 90 days, yeah.
So initially it was the adjustment of like the calories. So I had to cut my calories significantly.
From what to what?
Well, this is a bit where I've got to probably hide my face. So I was eating 4,000 a day, and I got away with having 2,900. 2,900 was it? 2,000. What was it initially? 2,700. I think Alex put me on. Yeah. Sorry. So I had to cut out a third, which for me at the time was a lot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, there's people out there that are on 1,100 calories. So we've all got our own individual circumstances. Yeah. But for me, that's what it was. But what that meant was I had to quickly shift my habits. I could no longer have a sandwich and a bag of crisps for lunch because it fit my macros. It fit my calories. That could no longer be something that could happen, for the pure and simple fact that it wouldn't give me the energy to train then.
Yeah.
So it was habits and the foods I was eating and the energy that I had. They all didn't align with the man that I wanted to become.
Yeah. Mega.
That was the challenge.
Mega. Listen.
On top of that, Dom, in the past, it wasn't so much a challenge now, but one of the challenges I've had with personal development, both physical and mental, especially with the mindset side and working with Paul Mort and the crew, is actually putting your hands up and saying you need help.
Yeah.
That was my biggest obstacle I had to overcome. And I said to Paul, I said, as a coach, like, why should I go and ask for help from someone else? And he turned around and he said, how hypocritical are you turning around to people and pointing the finger and saying you need coaching and you need accountability, and then you don't go and get any yourself? I was like, oh, this makes sense now. And on top of that, how I see it is the best athletes in the world, you know, they've got skill, they've got talent, determination and discipline, but they all have a coach of their own. The best coaches have a coach. The best athletes and performers have a coach. So I was like, you know what? Sign me up.
Absolutely. Everyone should have a coach. Everyone should be trying to level up. I'm conscious of time. I've just spotted it because I could talk, because you've got a great story and it's really interesting. But listen, you speak to people. You're talking about hundreds of people there that you've helped in the last year or whatever. Let's talk about some good habits. The best practices that what are the best practices that you think people need to start immediately to get ahead?
Yeah. The first one for me, 100%, especially that I've been refining over this last 6 months to a year, is your morning routine. Or if you don't like the buzzword morning routine, just your morning. Like I would say, I don't know what the stats are, 90-something% of people, 80-something% of people wake up and look at the phone first thing.
Yeah.
Like, I have the golden hour rule. No phone for the first hour of the day. Get up and then get in the shower, finish with a cold shower. That's not everyone's thing. And then I'm journaling, and then I'm on with a little stretch and a meditation, then I'm on with the day. So what we've got to ask is, like, how are you spending that first hour of your morning, and does it set you up for the day? If you win the morning and that first hour, your life and your whole results will change dramatically. So for me personally, it's morning routine and that ritual.
There's so much truth in that. Win the morning, win the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true for me. Like, if you get up and you go to bed and you spend time on your phone instead, and you spend 20 minutes to half an hour, like most people do, like, that will set the tone for the day. Your mind is a sponge first thing on a morning. Do not feed it the rubbish of social media newsfeed.
100%. 100%. We are speaking this all the time in Transform, in our Transform X program, and even out to our audience. What else two other things there. You've said win your morning.
Yep. So the other thing for me is at boot camp we're in also the online LX program. So we run a 90-day program, and after that you can stay on with us afterwards. We put seed 100%, Chris. What we do is I'll get you to put the link at the bottom. Actually, I'm joking. What I tell people to do is build what I call a keystone or a cornerstone habit. So for 10K steps, 10,000 steps a day, that builds a discipline to get moving. And it often you've got to change your morning, your lunch and your evening habits to a bit of a walk now. When you build 1,000 steps a day, guess what? That's the cornerstone, keystone habit to then start drinking more water, to then eat your day. So choose a habit, stick to it. When you build that, it will transform your other habits.
I hope everyone in Transform X is watching this, because Pete Shaw is just backing us up every step of the way. Come on.
Keep it up, Pete.
I'm glad
you got the script, Pete. I'm glad you got the script.
Send me that £5 later. The third and final thing, and again, it's something that I've developed in LX. I don't know if you guys have one, is a journal. So we have our own journal. And the first thing that I want everyone to do on a morning is ask powerful questions, because I'm a firm believer that questions are the steering wheel of the mind. Yeah. And what Paul teaches has taught me, and I know he's taught you guys, is that basically our mind is like having a head torch on your head. That's a head torch, not anything else.
that could be many things.
And if you listen on the podcast, Peter's on his head.
People would say, imagine your forehead's fish and put some salt and pepper on. Anyone remember that? Anyway, journaling is powerful because you ask questions on a morning, like, how do I want to feel today? What am I excited about today? So you actually put your focus on the things that you want, rather than putting your focus on social media and things that make us anxious and overwhelmed. Yeah. But you focus on growth. So the more you focus on the negative stuff, guess what? You're going to feel that way. So 100% journaling morning and evening and using it to track your progress. If you aren't tracking progress, you'll not know you're making any, and then you'll just sack it off. Even if you're doing phenomenal, if you can't see it on paper as well as in person and how you feel, you won't keep it up. You'll just throw the towel in. Yeah. So journaling and tracking progress, third habit.
Awesome. 3 bad habits. What do people need to stop immediately? What are we talking about here? What really pisses you off?
People that tell me they don't have time to look after their mental and physical well-being, and then they spend 4 hours 5 hours, 6 hours on the phone a day. Straight up. Like, if you're saying you don't have time to go for a walk or do a workout or prep some meals or have a little think about, what you want to achieve over the next month, have a little look on your phone, go to the settings, go to the screen time, and then come back to me when you've done something with that 5 hours a day that we all spend on his phones. I'm guilty of it. I've fixed it recently. I think yesterday I was under an hour. Like, I can live with that. But I've worked with people that spend 8 hours a day on the phone. That is a full-time job on their phone a day. That's the thing that blows my mind. So yes, don't mindlessly scroll the news feed. Like, I don't even have Facebook on my phone. I can only access it on my computer, and I don't even have a news feed on there. So, like, if you want to be able to get real results, like, get that time back. That's 100% the first thing I've stopped doing. Social media. The second thing, getting on the scales. This isn't something that gets on my goat for the pure and simple fact that people have been brainwashed by the media and by slimming clubs that you've got to measure progress on the scales. I'm a firm believer that you are worth a hell of a lot more than a number on a piece of metal and glass on the floor. Like, that does not define you as a person. It doesn't say anything about you as an individual. And although, like, if you are 20 stone and you get down to 10, there's going to be a significant difference in how you feel and how you look. Like, when it comes to the, minor, I've lost a pound, I've gained a pound, like, for me personally, that can ruin your day and that can wipe out all progress, because it can
100%
genuinely alter how you feel for the rest of the day. And I've got to say this as well, especially for the ladies with their hormones, cycled with water retention, and us guys too. You can have a big meal and gain 6 pounds. Put the scales in the bin and take photos and measurements instead. Third and final one, overly restricting your diet Monday to Friday, and then basically party on a weekend.
Woo! That's a whole new podcast. That is a whole different
We'll
show.
bring you back for that one, Pete Shaw. Don't you worry.
We could chat for hours about that shit. We could chat for hours.
Yeah, but basically, like, stop looking for a quick fix and just be willing to invest in yourself, do the work. And again, it's another one. Like, people say they don't have the money to buy into a program, and they order a takeaway every weekend. Like, I get it 100%. But when you really break it down, like, you can soon see, actually, it's not a cost when you hire a personal trainer or a coach. It's an investment in your health and in your mind.
Pete Shaw.
Sorry, I would say to Pete, just on the back of that, give me a copy of your Just Eat account or your Uber Eats account before you say you can't afford it.
Yeah, 100%. Someone told me the other day they spend £400 a month on takeaways.
We can beat that.
Join me, right? You can go to the Caribbean in the summer with the money I'll save you. It's insane. Yeah, when you look at your spending habits, you'll always find the time, the attention, the money, and the energy for the things you truly value. People say they value the health and the well-being, and then do the complete opposite with the spending habits and how they spend the time. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Pete,
it's been an epic show. You've definitely taken more time than anyone else. I've absolutely loved it.
Thank you very much.
Just tell us why you are Pete Shredded Week, Pete Shaw, King of Barnsley Barbell.
Well, because you've gave me that name, Dom. Because you've gave me that name. That's all it is. I'm just Pete Shaw to anyone else. But Shredded Wheat Shaw, I might have to go on a t-shirt or hoodie.
You got to change your Instagram handle now.
I'm off to do it now. 100%.
Right, Pete, one last thing. I put your website link and your Facebook links on the thing. How can people find more information about your programs that you conveniently seeded during that interview?
Did I mention the 90-day transformation program?
I don't think you did. You want to just mention it again?
That one where we help you drop 10 to 20 pounds in 90 days or your money back. Can't remember mentioning that one. But
I'm find out about that, mate.
At Barnsley Barbell on Instagram, Barnsley Barbell on Facebook. If you want to drop me an email, I'll personally reply to you. info@barnsleybarbell.co.uk. I would love to help every single one of you.
Well,
as would we at Transform X.
Yeah.
Oh, no, cut.
Well, Pete, thank you ever so much. It has been a pleasure again, and I say informative. You know what, Don? We're never going to get these on time because everyone's such an amazing story.
You should have told me there was a time limit. You know, me all day.
We know, Pete. We know. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching, listening, taking part, comments coming in. I really appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this, please like and share it with your friends. And don't forget, you can catch the podcast version of this on your favorite podcast platform later on today. Right, that's it for me.
And me.
And me. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Have an amazing day.